Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. So grab a chair, grab your coffee, grab your tea, and let's get started. But before I continue, let me share the bag that I'm currently using, and that is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull MM in the Demi Azur. As you can see, it has quite a bit of patina, especially right here, and the handles are getting so dark. But this is my go-to spring summer bag, and I didn't really get to use it as much as I wanted to last year, so I figured let's bring that puppy out. All right, so let's get started with the very first question because I have loads of eye candy for you guys today. Okay, Sydney Diva, what do you think of the Louis Vuitton Turenne? I'm thinking it's a better version of the Speedy 25 for me as it tapers nicely to the body as opposed to sticking out like a big box. I would agree. I think that the Louis Vuitton Turenne is a great option if you don't want, just the open style of a Speedy. It has a little bit more pockets. It has a little bit more organization. So you don't necessarily have to use a purse organizer with it. And it has a really great price point. So the fact that you can wear it crossbody and it's a little bit more versatile, I think it's a great alternative to getting a Speedy 25 bandolier or the regular one. Okay, Sarah G, what do you think about Chanel's quality? I've heard lots of complaints about the caviar quilts not puffy. The stitching is off and it's not as shiny as before. I'm thinking about buying my first jumbo. I'm a little skeptical about purchasing it now. I personally haven't had any issues with the quality of Chanel with any of my pieces. However, I will tell you that a lot of the people that have been purchasing Chanel for quite some time, they have been saying that the puffiness has gone down. The shininess isn't there. And they also, I think the number one complaint with Chanel in general now is the fact that their hardware isn't gold plated like it used to be. So if you were collecting Chanel, a while ago, you had that beautiful gold plating. And the reason why it's such an issue is because the prices keep going up, and the fact that they took away that gold plating, which kind of added to the luster, which added to the hardware, is one of the major points that a lot of people have talked about. Now, it's kind of like the same thing with Louis Vuitton, like I told you guys in the past. I have had issues with my Louis Vuitton pieces. A lot of you guys have had issues with your Louis Vuitton pieces, but not everyone has. So it's kind of the same thing. So I haven't had any issues, but I know, like I said before, some people have talked about it. One of my very, very good friends, she got a Chanel jumbo with the lambskin blue chevron detailing, and she used it once, and she actually ended up having to return it because the stitching on the chevron was starting to get a little bit fuzzy on the edges, and she only used it once. So like I said, it hasn't happened to me, but I have heard of a few things. You can always go the pre-loved route if you wanted to and get a really good condition jumbo that does have the gold plating if that's what interests you. It's all a matter of how an item ends up working out for you. Like I said, I haven't had any issues, but I have heard people that have. Okay, Joanne Cole. This is in reference to what we talked about last week, that I said that I was going to be taking a step back from LV, and I can see stepping away from them a bit. What with the lower quality and raising prices, especially after the bit of service. With that in mind, what brands might you focus on instead? I know not too long ago you talked about Yves Saint Laurent. I want to make sure and make something a little bit clear. Yes, I will be taking a step back from LV. I still love the brand. I will still, I still talk about them quite a bit. I'm going to think twice about what I add to my collection, because of, I'm a little bit apprehensive because of everything with the repairs and with having, quality issues and stuff like that. So will I continue to buy LV? I think so, absolutely. But I just second guess myself on the items that I will be adding to my collection. So that's what I wanted to kind of clarify. It's not like I'm just completely gone from LV. No way, I've had some great memories with the brand. But since you asked, Joanne, some of the things that I wanted to, some of the brands that I've been looking at, of course, is Yves Saint Laurent, especially after the review that I told you guys with the clutch that my hubby bought me. Another one is I'm still crazy about Celine. And I only have one, but I really want to add a mini luggage like badly to my collection. I don't know if I want a black one. I really want a red one. You know, I think I like the idea of a red bag, but I don't necessarily use them because I tend to use black bags more than anything. And I'd say another brand that I have been slowly doing a little bit more research on is Dior. And Dior, I would say that they hold their resale value very, very well. And some of the bags I'm not too crazy about. And I've told you guys before in the past with Minks Monday, there's just some that just don't really do it for me. I'm just looking at the quality of their leather because their leather is beautiful. It's fantastic, but I feel that it gets a little too slouchy if I don't get too much of a structured bag. So that's why I'm kind of doing a little bit more research. But for now, it's Yves Saint Laurent or Saint Laurent, Dior, and Celine that have really caught my attention as of the late. Okay, high standard luxury. I sold a Monogram Speedy 30 to a friend. She ended up giving it back to me after a few weeks. When I got the bag back, it smelled like cigarettes. Oh dear. Is there any way that I can get the smell out? I have given up hope and I'm considering selling it for way less than what I bought it for. Any help is appreciated. Okay, so obviously cigarette or smoke is the hardest, cigarette smell or, you know, the smell of smoke is the hardest thing to get rid of any bag. Now, the Speedy obviously is mostly made up of canvas and it has some leather parts, but regardless, I feel that it really absorbs it. A few months ago, I had a Chanel medium large that one of my clients had consigned with me, and it smelled like cigarettes. And she actually ended up sending me something to see if I can get rid of this the cigarette smoke or cigarette smell. And I feel that it didn't get rid of it completely, but it definitely helped out. A lot of people say to use, baking soda, put the baking soda in the bag in a container so that it doesn't spill on the inside. They say use Febreze, use, what's it called? The laundry, the fabric softener sheets. I personally don't want to use something so much to mask the odor because then it'll smell like smoke or cigarettes and it'll smell like that. So she actually sent me these. These are Loving My Bags. These are bag candies. And what these do, they absorb the smell instead of necessarily masking it, which is what I really like. Kind of like the baking soda, but I feel like these are a little bit safer. I don't remember. I went onto the website. I think they retail for $7 or $8. I'm not too sure. Maybe they're $15. I can't remember, to be honest. But these bag candies really, really helped out. Like I said, they didn't get rid of the cigarette smell, but they helped out immensely. And I really do recommend these. They're a really, I guess you could say, cheap alternative to try to get rid of the smell. I know these have helped out with mildew smells because sometimes pieces tend to smell like mildew. But these will definitely help. I would try these out if you can before you end up selling it for a lot less. But it all matters on, mostly it matters on how sensitive whoever's purchasing it has, their sense of smell, because some people might think it's not a big deal. I can smell cigarette smoke from, it feels like, a mile away because I have such a sensitive nose, but not in the fact that I don't like perfumes like we discussed about last week. But I really highly recommend these Loving My Bags bag candies. These are amazing, and they have a really nice vanilla smell to it, so it'll absorb everything else and it'll leave a little bit of that vanilla hint to it without it being overpowering, without it being nauseating, you know what I mean? Because again, you don't want to replace one smell with another and have it be, just too much. So that's what I would recommend. Or like I said before, you could try the other baking soda and leaving it in a dark room so that it's an uninterrupted process, if you will, or a dark location, or, they say to use the bag candies in a closet where it's really dark and it'll do its magic. So I don't know, but I would definitely recommend using those. My goodness. Okay, next question. Dolls, what is your opinion on the Epi Neverfull? I don't see many videos on YouTube on Epi. I'm looking for a tote, and I haven't got any experience. I'm new to LV, and I'm a Chanel gal at heart. With the LV Epi leather, your opinion will be much appreciated. Okay, so I've talked about Epi before in the past, and I will agree. Epi doesn't get as much love as I think it should, from myself included. And I think it has to do with the fact that not a lot of people are attracted to the texture texture of epi. So they like its durability, at least in my case. I don't really like the texture, and then over time it kind of flattens out and it looks kind of funky. But I will say this, that epi leather is, my goodness, probably one of the best leathers from Louis Vuitton. It doesn't really lose its shape. Like I said, over time it'll get shinier. As far as the grooves that they have, they'll get a little bit flatter, but for the most part, it is still probably one of the most carefree leathers. I would say it's probably even more carefree than a canvas. And it really holds its shape over time. And I have thought in the past about adding the Neverfull, the Epi Neverfull to my collection, but again, I'm kind of on the fence about it because of the texture on the outside. But it is absolutely a beautiful bag. It holds its shape. It's carefree, it's leather, it has microfiber on the inside, so it really checks, it has all the checks, on the checklist, and I think it's a really, really nice bag. Now, I know I've said that I think that it might get a little bit heavy, but a few of you guys have told me that you guys have the Epi Neverfull and it's not as heavy as one would think. But I really think it's a really, if you're looking to add a tote to your lifestyle, like you said, and you want something that's going to last a very long time, I would definitely recommend the Epi Neverfull. And plus, you don't have to worry about the cracking canvas. You don't have to worry about patina. You don't have to worry about the rain, the snow, anything, because it is such a great carefree leather. Okay, Alba Diaz. I bought the espadrilles in the beige canvas with the black cap toe with the white sequence CC. Yes. Now I'm debating if I should exchange for the black leather espadrilles. Help. So I brought both of mine out, and both of them are stuffed at the moment. So these are the ones that she bought. These are the fabric with the black cap toe and the white sequence. And these are the ones that you're thinking about getting, which is the all black lambskin. Okay, so I absolutely love both. I tend to use, when I'm traveling, I've noticed that I tend to use these a lot more. And these, I really like them, to be honest. I love both of them. Now what you can tell on here is the fact that these will tend to show its wear a little bit more because of the lambskin. They will get a lot softer and they'll just get really squishy. So if you're okay with it, I think mine are a year old now, something like that, and I've worn them to death. But I don't baby them. I don't use anything to care for them either. But just check that out. They'll start to get this little bit of a slouch on the back, and sometimes you'll be able to see a little bit more wear on here, especially because this little lip right here is such a pain in the butt. My goodness. It starts to kind of not curl up, but you will notice a lot more wear on here. So I do love these. These are extremely comfortable, but they will show a little bit more wear. I feel that these, the fabric ones, will hold their shape a lot better. They might show, they might show up a little bit more dirt, I guess, but I haven't had any issues. But again, you notice that it has the same type of, little wear on the back heel. A lot, some people have a lot more wear on the back heel versus up here, but it's, regardless, you'll start to see a little bit more wear. These are a little bit newer, so it's kind of unfair for me to show you guys, as far as the wear and tear goes. But I love both. If you want, these are still extremely comfortable. Not as comfortable as these, I would have to say, but they're still fantastic. The breaking in period is a little bit longer on the fabric versus the leather, just because the leather will start to stretch out a lot faster. Even though they have leather lining on the inside, regardless, you have to deal with the fabric not stretching out as fast or as great as the leather is. But regardless, I think they're both fantastic. And I really like the combination that they added with this. You have the, the beautiful tan color with the black cap toe and the CC. I think it works. But then again, this might go, I think both of them really go with any outfit, but I think this is just, I think these are my go-to pair, to be honest. Between these and the black and white lambskin ones that I have as well, I just really, really like them. So It's all a matter of preference, but hopefully the tips that I just gave you will be able to help you kind of go with one or the other. Next question, Narelle Ravizzi. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I am the very proud new owner of a stunning Chanel Jumbo in lambskin single flap. It is 22 years old and in excellent condition. Congratulations, that's awesome. Should I condition this bag because of its age or just leave it be? Personally, you guys know how I feel. Whether it's my Chanel bags or whether it's my Louis Vuitton bags, I don't do anything to them, and mostly that's because the natural oils that you have in your hands will condition the bag, especially if you use it. But then again, a lot of people swear by using leather conditioner. A lot of people use baby wipes and things like that. I don't, again, but it's personal preference, and I think that it'll look great, especially if you just use it and you rock it. And again, with your own oils, it'll end up just, coating the bag, if you will, without having to use any chemicals or without having to use any conditioner like that. But again, that's just my personal opinion. All right, next question, another question from Sarah. I'm new to Chanel. Are there any certain things to look for when buying a Chanel flap? Anything to keep in mind when inspecting the bag? What do you look for when inspecting the bag at the boutiques? Okay, so a few things to keep in mind is when you're looking at either a lambskin bag or a caviar leather bag or any other type of leather that Chanel has, you want to make sure that it doesn't have any scratches. That's a big thing for me anyways. You want to look at the quilting, make sure, like some people want the really, really puffy pieces. I know I prefer the puffier pieces. So that's one thing to keep in mind. You want to look at the stitching, because if you see any loose threading or any loose stitches or anything like that, or any fuzzing on the threading before you purchase it, I feel that over time, the more you wear it, it'll start to get a little bit worse. So I've been very, very fortunate that the items that I have purchased look in great condition and they have worn very, very well. What else? You want to look at just really in general, any scratching, any threading, any type of anything that, you feel that might get a little bit worse over time. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that some caviar pieces tend to be a little bit shinier than others. So it's all a matter of preference. I know I prefer a little bit more of a dull pebbled leather throughout my pieces. Some people prefer the shinier ones. And what else? Just in general, just anything that you feel that might get worse over time, that's something that you want to just stay away from. And then I would always ask for another one if they have another one. But sometimes we run into the problem that these classic flaps, they'll either have one of only, and then they'll call you like, hey, we got the bag in, you want to come check it out? So I'm always very, very meticulous. And sometimes I know that I drive my sales associates up the wall, but the way that I feel is that if I'm going to spend the amount of money, I want it to look as great as it can be. And if it's going to have any scratches, they're going to come from me first. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. But no, just take a look at everything. Look at every nook and cranny. That's how I feel. Okay. Ariel Sanchez. What are your opinions on buying luxury goods from Japan? I just came back from there a week ago and I bought a 1990s vintage Chanel jumbo flap in great condition and for less than $2,000. I'm thinking of only buying luxury from there instead of the US, since I've noticed that certain consignment shops have the consumer pay above retail for popular discontinued items. I agree. Some of these consignment shops, they charge an arm and a leg. What are my opinions from buying from Japan? I'm a little apprehensive and I'm a little skeptical sometimes, just because a lot of the triple A plus replicas come from overseas. Now, that doesn't mean that they only come from overseas. Obviously, they can come from anywhere in the world. But I'm always a little bit more worried. I guess the number one complaint whenever you buy from overseas is that some of the bags tend to have a little bit of, especially if you're buying online, not necessarily when you're there, they tend to have a little bit more of a mildew smell to them. So that's always, it's very hard to get rid of, kind of like what we talked about before with the cigarette smell. I just feel that a lot of replicas, when you go on, if you just Google like Louis Vuitton outlet, I mean, a lot of the places will be from overseas, and I feel that, I mean, some of these replicas are getting so good to the point where a lot of authenticators won't even authenticate over a certain series because it's just so hard to tell them apart. And I just feel that way, you know. A lot of the prices are fantastic overseas, like especially like what you mentioned, a jumbo flap for under $2,000. That's amazing, especially the fact that it's in great condition. So congratulations. But I'm a little bit apprehensive as to purchasing from overseas because there's just so many fakes that you hear coming from overseas, and just I don't know. That's just my personal preference. Again, that's just me. If you have purchased from, you know, an online consignment shop that is from overseas and you've had a great experience, then I'm excited for you. I'm happy for you. But that's just not something that really makes me feel comfortable. And whether it's paying $5,000 for something or paying $2,000 for something, I want to feel very, very comfortable about my purchase. So that's just why I haven't. I really haven't gone into purchasing from overseas. Okay, John Turenne, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I have purchased a Damier Ben key pouch and a PM Magenta pre-loved, and I am now looking to buy my first new piece. I really wanted to get the 6 key holder in Damier Graphite, but now I'm questioning myself. I am very concerned in spending $250 on an item to hold my keys, which are constantly handled, which I guess I should avoid touching according to the sales associate. No kidding. I can't afford to buy an item. I can't afford to buy an item, and I need to throw more money into it and get it repaired multiple times. What do you think I should do? Should I hold off or try another brand? Okay, so another one of my good friends, Love Luxury, she had an issue with, I believe it was her 6 key holder as well. And a lot of people are saying that even though I rave about this item, my piece is 1 billion years old. A lot of people are saying that they're having a lot of problems with the cracking canvas. Now, as obviously when you use a 6 key holder, you're going to be opening this up to get to your keys, right? And personally, what I would do is, if there's any doubt, always try, you could always go for a pre-loved, maybe something from 2011, 2010. I feel that they had really, really good quality back then. I've had a lot of items from those years, and I haven't had any issues whatsoever. So you can go pre-loved. And if you ever decide to get something like this pre-loved, I think it's a little bit better, because if the button shows up a little, shows a little bit of wear, but you're still saving a lot of money, you can always get the button replaced, and it's not the same as getting the item brand new or having any issues with the cracking. I will say this, that if you are apprehensive as to purchasing the 6 key holder brand new because of the issues that you heard of, a lot of people, I even looked at it, and I'll tell you guys why I won't, but a lot of, I would recommend the Chanel the 6 key holder. I can't even talk, my goodness. The 6 key holder. I believe it retails for a little over $500 here in the States. And they have it in lambskin. They have it in caviar leather. Now, it's caviar leather on the outside. It's lambskin on the inside with some textile lining as well. But I have heard from multiple people that they hold up incredibly well, especially because it is mostly all leather. So this is pretty much mostly all canvas with some textile lining, leather lining on the inside. Not textile lining. Some leather lining on the inside. But the reason why I haven't purchased the 6 key personally is because this item it has literally fallen on gravel, on dirt, on concrete, and I don't want to baby it. So if it falls open face at my parents' house, I really don't treat this the way, you wouldn't think it's a luxury good the way that I treat it. And that's why I'm okay with it, because if I was to pay a little bit more for Chanel, even though they have better quality because it's all lambskin or it's all caviar leather, I just feel that I would ruin it personally because I'm so careless with this particular item. But you can try that. I know one of my girlfriends said that she had one for about 6 or 7 years, and she ended up getting a new one, not because it was damaged or because something happened. She just wanted a new one, and she ended up giving away her old one, which was still in great condition. But like I said before, I talk about the 6 key holder to death, and I think it's a great item, but I will agree a lot of people have been having issues with this item, with reglazing, with cracking, and obviously you don't want to buy something and constantly have to take it in for repair. And if you guys ever buy this item and it starts to crack within a few months and the sales associate says, you know, we could send it in for repair, I'd say, you know what, at this point in time, either replace it and give me a brand new one, because if you end up getting it repaired over the same things that keep happening, it'll continue to happen, and it'll just be this vicious cycle of having to constantly get it repaired. So I would just ask for a new one, or just hold off completely on getting another 6 key holder. And it's a shame because, like I said before, I talk about it all the time. Or buy a pre-loved one, and you know, if it has a little bit of wear, that's okay. Just know that it'll be handled. And I just love this item to death, you know, and I just don't worry about it. So I would try to go for the pre-loved route personally, in my opinion. And if you can, in the 2011, 2010 years, those were awesome. Okay, Bonita Brewington Mini. Taking a step back, well, it's their loss. LOL. This has to do, again, in reference to what I talked about earlier. I agree, though. I was considering getting reacquainted with the brand. I haven't carried the brand personally since the mid-90s, but since I keep hearing about declining quality, I'm gun shy. I wanted to get an SLG for my birthday or for Mother's Day. Which would you suggest? The key holder or the coin purse? So, obviously, we just talked about how a lot of people are saying that these are having issues. So for that matter, you know, whether it's the coin purse or the key holder, I love them both. So let's say that you want to go ahead and delve into getting a brand new one, and hopefully you don't have any issues with it. The coin purse, I just absolutely love, because you don't have to worry about the coins staining your wallets. And I've always talked about that. And I know I could buy other things for my coins, but I just really like this little guy. I don't have to worry that it's getting too dirty. Again, this is something I don't think twice about. It's already starting to get a really nice patina going on. But my heart tells me go for the 6 key, because it's such a great investment. You don't have to worry about any of your keys ruining the inside of your bags, or ruining any of the other items in your bag. So that's why I'm crazy about it. But with the issues that we just talked about, you might just want to go for the coin purse, because really, I don't think I've had any issues with this whatsoever. And the only reason why I replaced it is because I sold it. And I don't know what I was thinking. Or you can go with the Chanel 6 key holder that we talked about, because I still have my eye on it, but I just can't see myself replacing this, especially because I'm as careless as I am with it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Okay. Forever Lux for me. You're always so happy. What's your secret? Do you ever get mad? Why you are always so bubbly? This is a funny quote. This makes me laugh. I guess you could say I am a happy person. Am I always just like sunshine and rainbows and looking through rose-colored glasses? No. And I do get mad. I guess the thing that I have the biggest issue with is that I have road rage. And it's not as bad as it used to be when I used to work, because I guess you could say I was miserable where I used to work, and I would just drive home and I would just be, it kind of helped me to just kind of decompress, if you will. But I just have an issue with bad drivers. And if you guys ever see me on the road and I'm not as pleasant as I am on my videos, it's because of another driver. So honestly, that's really the only thing that makes me upset. But I've told you guys before in the past, a long time ago, I used to be in a very, not dark place, but I seemed like I was very bitter, and it's taken me a lot, and it's taken me a long time to get to where I am now. I'm just a very happy, peppy person. I laugh at everything. I feel like, I don't know, like a hyena. I'm just constantly laughing, and, do some things make me upset? Absolutely. Just like everyone else. And I did have someone ask me if I swear, and I do. I swear. I don't swear like a sailor like I used to. But, I don't want to, I don't want to swear on camera necessarily, and I know sometimes I've let it slip, because I just don't know. I don't want to offend anybody that's watching me. You know what I mean? And I feel that sometimes I want to curse because I feel that the emotions that are running through me just warrant a bad word to come out, you know? And I feel like sometimes it's a little bit more raw of a video when if I do end up cursing, but again, I don't want to offend anybody. And, yeah, I'm just happy. I'm happy that I get to see another day. And the fact that, you know, I get to do what I love to do, and I get to, you know, I get to talk to so many people about what I like to do. I think that makes it even better, you know? So, I have my health somewhat, and my family's doing great. And, you know, what else can I ask for? You know, there's nothing that, you know, and there's nothing that would take that smile away from me because I'm so grateful for what I have in my life. So yeah, I do get upset, you know, but road rage is bad. But yeah. Okay. And last question, unique today. I really like the Chanel wallet on chain in black caviar leather, and I'm planning to get one eventually, but I like considering options, and I love Louis Vuitton. If you had to pick an equivalent Louis Vuitton item to the Chanel wallet on chain, what would you pick? I would mostly like to use it as a dressy evening clutch. There are actually 2 clutches or 2 bags that I think would really are perfect for a very dressy setting, and that is the Anna clutch or the Anna bag, which retails for $17.30 here in the States. It is vernis leather, it has a beautiful chain, and it has just the right amount of hardware on it. I think it's really, really nice. It's perfect for weddings and stuff like that. And then the other one I would have to say is the Louise. Is it the Louise? The Louise MM. Oh my goodness. I think it's called the Louise. It has the beautiful Louis Vuitton logo on the front. It's also vernis leather, and it has that gorgeous, gorgeous chain. So I think between those 2 would be the equivalent to a very dressy, you know, setting. And I think it's just a great addition, especially because the hardware is just gleams under the perfect light. Under the right light. But yeah, I would have to go for those 2. And I believe the Louise retails for, I think it's Louise. It retails for $2,220 here in the States, if I'm not mistaken, in the MM, because the GM is a little bit more, obviously it's a little bit more expensive, but I would go for either of those 2. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday. And I know I had to cut it a few times because now I feel like my cough is just taking over. But I do sound a little bit better, I think. It's still a little raspy and kind of manly, but that's all right. Okay, so this week for you guys, are you ready? Because I promised you guys that I was going to use the Chanel Jumbo for 10 consecutive days, rain, snow, whatever it is, or sunshine. Obviously, I don't have snow where I live, but I have used it to death. I have used it in every possible setting, and I have a review coming for you guys. I don't know if I'll be able to do it tomorrow, but it will be up this week. So keep an eye out for that. And I also have an unboxing for you guys. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday. Thank you so much for all the awesome, awesome questions. I hope I was able to help, and I will see you all later this week. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.